Hey guys, it's Angela, and I am here to do my Blacklist Season 2, Episode 1 recap. I want to apologize for getting really lazy on my channel. I got a new job, and it's been super crazy. You know how it is in that first week where you're transitioning. So next week it should be better, and I should be up to date on all my shows. I'm going to review a whole bunch of things for you guys. I'm also working on a new book review, as well as get back to my Pretty Little Liars videos. I know I've been slacking off on that major, and I am sorry, but like I said, super busy week this week. So let's get into this review for the Blacklist, Lord Baltimore. Okay, so the episode starts off with Red, who is in Cameroon, and he is talking to a warlord, trying to find out the names of the bounty hunters that Berlin got from the warlord to track him down. And the warlord is being like really, really stubborn, and there's $3 million on the table and 3 Hellfire missiles, and he still doesn't cooperate, so the missiles blow up and the money does as well. Then we go to Elizabeth, who is in a hotel room looking rather slobbish ever since her world came crumbling down. And she is staring at this, she's made herself like a map on the ceiling, trying to piece everything together. Sorry, my smoke is getting in the way. But she is not looking too hot, and she's kind of lonely, and it's sad. And there's a little tiny violin playing for Lizzie. She meets up with Red, who tells her that a cyber tracker named Lord Baltimore is after him, and in order to find Berlin, they have to find Lord Baltimore. Back at the FBI, Aram says that Baltimore is a super data miner with his own urban legend who uses a person's internet presence to create a dossier for his clients to track down their targets. And they look into the top data firms in the nation, and it leads them to a woman named Rowan Mills. So the FBI talks to Rowan, you know, just seeing what's up or whatever. And after they talk to her, she gets a call, and it's a creepy automated message basically saying, keep your fat trap shut. Yeah. Or, you know, I'll give you even more of a reason to look like a frightened chihuahua than you already have. I mean, did anyone else get that impression? She's kind of like shaky and jittery. Kind of creeped me out. Anyway, so of course she goes to the FBI and tells them what happened. She's a dummy, and she needs the big dogs to protect her, I guess. And Aram traces the message to an apartment, and they figure out that it has Rowan's name on the lease and a whole bunch of pictures of her, accompanied by her very own creepy neighbor. I mean, this guy is really sketchy. He's just kind of like chilling behind a fence and being all generally creepy and weird. And I was over it. I was like, go the fuck away. You are sketch. Anyway, sorry for the randomness of this video. I just got home and I'm so tired. Okay, so Rowan says Rowan says that the apartment does not belong to her, and it must belong to her twin sister Nora, who she believed was dead. Now they go to talk to Rowan's mom, and the mother confirms the story that there was a twin named Nora who, after being sexually molested by an uncle when she was very young, went to work for a dangerous security firm, and they sent her overseas somewhere, and she supposedly died in an IED explosion. But Rowan is thinking at this point that is not the case, because she doesn't remember this apartment, and there are pictures of her all over it. Meanwhile, Agent Martin goes to see Cooper to try and convince him to come back, but is telling him he knows what they found in the hospital and all about the diagnosis, and being a really weird, cryptic son of a bitch, basically. I want to know what they found out at the hospital. Like, that's gonna, you know, have me deeply intrigued until they figure it out. I'm already intrigued by the Blacklist. I think Tom Keene is back, by the way. Totally forgot to mention that. when Lizzie is talking to Red, there is somebody in a car watching them. And then again, when Lizzie's in her hotel room and cutting off her hair, and they're looking through binoculars, and they lay down the signature Tom King glasses on the dashboard. I wonder if anyone's told him about his annulment yet. Anyway, I want to see him back. I really was not paying attention to the credits in the very beginning. I was mainly focused on the show, so I don't know if Ryan Eggold is credited or if they're kind of leading us to think he's not in it. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in it, though. I mean, come on. Hottest guy on the show, you know, and it's so mysterious. Obviously he's not dead, so I think it'd be a no-brainer. Okay. Arm realizes that Red has no electronic fingerprint and Baltimore is looking for someone else, and they discover it's actually Red's ex-wife, a woman named Naomi Highland, who's been in witness protection for 20 years, that Red, I don't think, has ever mentioned. Maybe in passing. I've only heard him mention a daughter, but if you guys have heard him mention Naomi Highland, you should let me know, because that kind of just jumped out of nowhere. And I was like, hey, it's the chick from Red. You know, the movie with Bruce Willis? Yeah, and Helen Mirren. Those are the only two actors' names that are coming up to me right now. But yeah, it's that lady. And then the creepy, okay, so Rowan goes to her apartment, and creepy neighbor, his name is actually Marcus, shows up at the apartment, and he plays We Three on a record player and prompts her to remember that night. And she snaps out of like a, blubbering like, what are you talking about? Leave me alone. And asks him how long she was out for. And while this is happening, Wrestler is at Nora's mother's house and finds who we're now assuming is Rowan in the freezer. At this point, I was assuming it was Rowan. I mean, they're the dissociative identity, and we can only assume that Nora killed Rowan, which it turns out to be the case. Spoiler alert in case you haven't seen the show. So Nora goes and she kidnaps Naomi, and Lizzie catches her, but not Naomi, who's been turned over to Berlin. Now, Berlin takes a picture of her on the bed, and he puts it in a locket, kind of like the locket that had the picture of his daughter in it, before he started getting his daughter back piece by piece. So, Berlin calls Red, or Red calls Berlin or something like that. It was a confrontation. It was a phone call, okay? Like I said, I'm really tired. Sorry. It was a phone call, and Berlin basically tells Red that he's going to send his wife back piece by piece, just like Red did his daughter, Berlin's daughter. It's kind of confusing if you haven't seen it. I'm sorry if you haven't. You should watch it. Start with season 1. It's a great show. So, Naomi, okay, that was pretty much the end of the episode. I'm sorry, I just did that like way up there. Okay, so something that I got confused about in the episode was Naomi mentions that she had to relocate her whole life with her daughter 20 years ago, but there's been no mention of her daughter. I immediately, when I watched the show, I was like, oh my God, is this Lizzie's mom? Like, could this be Lizzie's mom? I really do think it's Lizzie's mom, but then she made that comment, and I was like, well, does that mean it's not Lizzie? What if Lizzie doesn't remember her family? What if she was adopted or something, Because I was, like, convinced that Red was her dad. I mean, I don't think he's ever flat out said, Lizzie, I'm your father, or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure Red's her dad. He had the burn marks all over him, and I mean, why else would he only want to talk to Elizabeth on her first day at the FBI? I think it's her dad, and I'm pretty sure that Julia Louis, it's like two first names or something like that. Julia Louis or Mary Louis, I don't know, I don't remember. But Naomi Highland is her mom. That's what I think. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up this episode review of the Blacklist. I'm sorry it's so scattered this week. I will get with the program, and I will be back Monday night reviewing it, and it'll be a far better review, I promise. I know I talked really fast. I'm also going to be doing a How to Get Away with Murder review soon. Maybe tonight. I'm not sure. Actually, I might, but I'm not sure. Okay, anyway, so if you like this video and you want to see more, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think of the Blacklist. I hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you next time.